How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Fridays with X-Issue98, episode 68. I am X-Issue98. As you can see, my webcam is still lagging. But today I'm here with mark5000, and here he is.
Hello, everyone.
Came back from work.
Good to be here.
And he is actually the mastermind behind the Crazy 9 series we're doing on YouTube. So,
yes, come check it out.
Definitely a shout out to him on that. But
shout out to you. It's 50-50 venture, you know.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was held up from work today, but I think that things are good overall.
Yeah. I just got back from a busy day of school, but yeah. Anyways, we're going to review today's game, which is actually a pro game, and it just happened like 2 or 3 days ago, I think. It was from the 20th. Is it 20th? 20th, yeah. The 20th Samsung Cup Semifinals, with Shi Yue, 9-dan professional, and Tang Weixing, 9-dan professional. So, those are really strong. Those two really strong players, and people are really like leaving before we even begin. But those are really strong people, and as far as I know, Shi Yue is probably like he used to be #1 in China.
He held #1 for almost a year. Yeah, I think
so. He's won the LG Cup, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's an international champion. But also, Tang Weixing has done very well especially in the Samsung Cup. He was the winner in 2013 and also the runner-up in 2014. So, and this year he's in the semifinals too. So, and the background about this game was they've already played 2 games, and so this is like kind of like the decider of the best of 3 semifinal. But the first 2 games went kind of in an interesting fashion, right? So
yeah, if you saw them, Game 1 had a large avalanche variation, which is really complicated. Game 2 ended at move 109 with a giant reading problem. Life and death from start to finish. That was a pretty crazy game. I heard people talking about possible Game of the Year status for that one. But yeah. Game 3 was fun. And the Game 3 is the one we're doing. There was a cut and fight at move 40 and a large dragon that was running for the whole game. So we get to check it out today.
Yeah, this game is pretty insane. I mean, well, not just this game. I think just Shi Yue is pretty insane. Like, he's got the nickname of like he kills a dragon on average. Like in every game, he kills a dragon. And as we can probably see from the first 2 games, he killed a dragon like really brutally in the second game. So there's also that. But it seems like in this game we did see a lot of fighting from both sides because Tang Weixing, who is playing as white, also likes complicated situations. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start the review. And I have control actually. Ooh.
Yes, you do.
Fancy. So we have Shi Yue playing as black. Because, well, he's it'd be a good thing for him, but it would not be a good
thing. It's already interesting, you know.
Yeah,
you don't see this opposing Komaku so commonly in pro games,
right? Because like the top side is very white now, and intuitively you want to approach at like E16 as black, so it's gonna be like really good for him.
But it's only a theory.
Yeah.
I can't say that C16 is bad.
Right, because as you can see in the game, black and white took 2 corners, and black approached. So that was kind of like the intuitive choice. But after this Joseki, here, so white attached. Black played this. He connected. White jumped out. So white is a really solid corner. And in the game, black jumped at L17 on the top side. So his top is really wide, but it's not really that solid, is it?
No, it's sort of the mini Chinese framework with L17 from R16.
Mm-hmm.
And
So yeah,
I've
it's
seen
kind of
other professionals make the 4-space extension from this corner Joseki. I've seen it in one or two of Choi Chul Han's games. And there have been other professional players who I know extend further when circumstances call for it. Looking at the top side position, it just seems like the balance point between the two.
Yeah, it's very nice indeed, and I like this structure for black. Even though there's obviously a huge chance white's gonna invade later, and because if we look at the gap between the L17 stone and the R16 stone, white could invade, and maybe if he lives, then he can also invade at J17. Now this is kind of different from black not exchanging, like F16 and like C14, because so what I'm talking about is if we can get the cursor moving a little bit. So if white gets something like this, right? So suppose he lives, he can possibly invade here when he's really strong on other group. Obviously not in this situation specifically because he only has one stone there. But if he invades here, then we have a really thick, or not very thick, rather heavy black group here with the three stones. Now this would be like more. It'd be more flexible for black if he didn't complete the exchange at F16 for white's C14, but I mean, if it happens, then this is a weak group, so it could be a fighting pattern.
You wouldn't do it right away as the white player, though. I think you'd make the R17 exchanges first, and then you'd come back for an idea like that.
Right, definitely. So, white definitely needs to fix the top right group first. So, but he can certainly do that when his group is like stronger. For example, another triangle I wanted. Nah. Sometimes ODS just doesn't listen to you. Okay, so you attach here. Let's say that he plays here, right? And maybe this is more likely, but obviously that's not what happened in the game. But I think I also like this kind of Joseki-ish sequence for white because he has really a solid top left corner, and there's not much agi in there, so it's good. But then in the game where I just played, the common approach you find in games with mini Chinese.
It's a lot more common than the P16 approach. The whole idea behind the Chinese formation is to discourage an approach at P16. So professional players usually won't jump there right away.
Right, because if you're playing at P16 right away, then it's like you're jumping into a 3-space load tensor. So your chances of settling very nicely on the side is going to be like limited.
Right.
But if you split here, then black just shows this very common shoulder hit right here. Then you can actually settle really nicely on the side.
There's so many ways for black to play from the position once white splits. You can push from either side. You can enclose either side or extend from either side. You can play the shoulder hits. Third line, fourth line. You can play pretty much all moves on the side, even up to directly contacting the stone.
Yeah. So, for example, like do you mean here?
Yes. You can extend from the top side to R12 or Q12 or shoulder hit.
So if here, now maybe white plays this, right? So he settles on the side. Yeah.
And then you can also extend from the bottom side too, with an enclosure from R6, R7, R8.
So maybe
and then
like
push
this.
White. Right. And then pushing white to the top.
Yeah, so black has a lot of options here. And including this one, of course.
Yes.
But
that's a very good one.
I guess the purpose of this is if black is a really nice shape, then he actually can build a really large moil on the top side. So in a sense, it would force white to invade. So maybe Shi Yue likes this type of like moil game. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that he would. Both of them are bona fide fighters. They are going to start to build that power that you need to make the fights favorable for them. Looking as black here, it seems like if you acknowledge that your extensions on the top are a bit wider for your for 100% safety, then you're going to want to have that fighting power, anticipating that your opponent's going to stop by and place a stone inside.
Right. So, but here obviously, well, actually, this is interesting. I think I would probably just connect.
Connecting, huh? That's pretty solid.
So, I mean, it was kind of what I was expecting when I saw this game, but he played here, which is also interesting. Maybe white will cut, right? It would be kind of a fighting pattern.
Now, it's possible, yeah.
It's hard to say how this sequence will go, because if you just play something like this, then it's actually really hard to catch white. So if black was here, then we have this, and because there are a lot of there's a lot of agi in black's shape, this would be a difficult game.
Right. I don't think black needs to directly Atari, however. I think you can just jump to O12 and try to fight on a more large scale.
Yeah, maybe you can do that too.
Because you made this large moyo and you're looking for that attacking strength, but you don't have to be so severe at this point in the game.
Right.
All you want white to do is to squirm inside your area, and then that should give you a good enough result.
So, it's probably why white didn't do this right away, but maybe he's waiting for that like later.
Probably, yeah.
So, for example, after this move in a game at P9, the cut will be slightly better for white. Because if black does the same thing, for example, if black tanukis, then white plays here, black plays here. You kind of have that cut point going on. So if black fixes, then this could be a potentially better fight for white.
Seems so, yeah.
But in a game, let's get the move here. Wait. Oh, I actually played the move in the game. I just guessed. I swear to God, I didn't look at the move tree.
Congratulations, you are now non professional. Okay, so
honestly, yeah.
Not take advantage of that cut at that time. What do you think about that?
Well, I feel like this is also a very good spot for to invade black's top right moyo, because it's not cutting directly, but it's aiming at the cut point, as you can see. And approaching here is slightly better than approaching here, because P16 on the fourth line, you don't really get a base, but once you have P17 going on, then there's a lot more agi on the third line.
I kind of was expecting the P16 move because it would highlight the cut a bit more. But once I saw P17 and what happened afterward, then I think I started to see why it was played over P16, because it settles so much easier on the top side.
Yeah. So in the game, black played here.
The best move. Are there any beginners who are watching who would play P16 right away instead of making a base with N17?
Well, that's it's an interesting move. Right here, if you play a P16. Well, I feel like this would be a little bit too heavy for white.
Yeah, you wouldn't do this. Black could just play where white played, and then you're running.
For example, like that, right?
Yeah, and then white has to run out because the group is heavier. And when white runs out, it accomplishes black's purpose, because then you're making the J17 area into territory when it was too wide.
Right, so this would be a tough game for white. I think it happened in one of my OGS games.
Right. Right. What I mean to say
is it did not end well.
It's an example where you don't blindly follow proverbs.
Yeah, and answering questions from Twitch chat, and she says, you said 0-3 is bad though. I totally did not realize that was what he played in the game. But, or just a hypothetical situation, you know? Like, white doesn't need to cut directly. But I'm suggesting that just as like a possibility. Of course. But
P16.
Is P16 bad? P16 for white would be slightly heavy.
I would say it's suboptimal.
Yeah. But it's definitely like not gonna like lose white the game, but it's gonna probably make it harder to fight for him. So, for example, like we said earlier, black can play this. Maybe white has like forcing move there or two, but it doesn't really do that much because black is on the third line. He's pretty solid. So, in the game, white chose N17. So, if black plays at P16 now, he can just definitely jump out. So, or maybe even do that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at here. And then you have, if you do Atari at P18, then you can just invade right away with something like J17.
Right, where you can even make the ko here.
Oh yeah, then there's the ko shape. But in the opening, there's typically not many ko threats.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you want to delay it.
So maybe like that.
Yeah, and then you capturing 017 would be a bit slow.
And Happy X Adams asked the question: would it stop the cut? Would it support a cut at Q13? Well, let's go back here and say, let's see, we have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then actually, in this case, I think can black attack from this direction?
Yes. No, he would attack from the other direction because you'd be helping white.
Right, I'm just looking at. So, but like, what if he plays this? It could be a thing, right?
It looks possible.
Yeah. But like, yeah, of course you can also.
Yeah, actually, it's hard to say which Atari is better in the case. I think I do like yours more. I was thinking more like this.
Well, this is also like a sacrifice option.
Right. Maybe it's good enough for black because black's getting a lot of the top side.
Yeah, black's getting a lot of the top side, but white's also getting a lot like on the right side at the same time.
However, the Q11 stones are not dead, so there's some Aji there.
Wait, they are, right?
Well, they're not totally removed from the board yet.
Oh,
so
right. Of course.
You can play moves around the outside.
Yeah,
to
like here.
Threaten that.
But yeah, that was a very good question. I think this also works pretty well for black because he has converted the top right into like solid territory.
Sure, but in this case, I think it's important to note what bad and good mean. When we're talking about professional games, it really means slightly inferior for one player. So when we say it's bad for white, it's really just, it means that it's maybe half a point to 2.5 points better or worse for one player.
Yeah, also there's sometimes there's the preference. Like, for example, a certain sequence might appear like good for the territorial player, well, bad for the influential player. So there's also that. But I think early on in the game, I mean, there's no like right or wrong really. Like unless you play a move and it kills your group, and that's probably bad. I would probably call that bad, but
right.
In this case,
are obviously bad.
But yeah, but in this case, it seems like a pretty reasonable fight for both players. White's getting some nice shape here. Q16 in center. So yeah, it's a pretty good shape so far. And black tries to attack once again, and white makes this. So right now it's going to be hard to kill white, even though my eyes are always like focusing on this point. But it's going to be hard to kill white because he has so many free moves on the outside, and also we can notice that there's a cut point at cube 13. So if a fight breaks out, then you have all those threats you can use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also a weakness at P16 where black can play. You have to be really
for example,
careful how you answer that one.
Oh yeah, so for example, if white plays here,
yes,
then black can get the Atari. And white captures, then black can get a pretty nice reduction here.
Yeah, and not only is it reducing, but it's sweeping away all the eyes on the bottom side. So white almost needs something to guarantee the O15 eye and the P16 eye. Otherwise, you're going to be in pretty big trouble.
Yeah, so, I mean, white's definitely going to respond somewhere here, but...
Yeah, white is not 100% alive in this position at all. It's one move from death.
Also, if we look at the game, black has played R5, right? Which is a very solid move. It secures the bottom right corner territory.
It's also attacking the right side group.
So, in a sense, if you ignore this, right, then this is possible. The peep is possible in the future. So, white definitely wants to at least settle one of the groups, which is what he did in the game. Otherwise, two weak groups would be too much of a burden. But this is a very good attachment at O18. So, white has got some nice, half eyes here.
I think it's pretty even to here.
Yeah.
I didn't see any major mistakes from either player, really. I mean, there wouldn't be major mistakes at this point, but I mean, there's nothing that stands out to me as being something that's a bit odd. It all seems kind of natural.
Yeah, because they don't just screw up like we do, right?
Yeah. If you were playing solidly, then you'd immediately protect the K17 cut right now with that move or J17.
Right, but isn't that a little bit slow? Because if you look at this situation right now, white has two live groups that are, I mean, they're not really that easy to be killed. So
they're not going to be killed. And I think that white would be happy enough simply taking an enclosure.
Yeah, like that, right?
And then it looks like white may be happy enough just to have the profit that they've had so far. You have two groups that are living in black's area, and you have solid territory in your own. So
yeah, I think this should be a really happy result for white because he has invaded black's Moyo, and black doesn't seem to have a whole lot of solid territory right now. But white's doing nicely on the left side and possibly the bottom side. Yursama says, I'm usually told it isn't good to make such a sudden invasion so early in the game. Well, in this case, if we look at the game, the earlier position, the problem here is if white doesn't invade, then black might get super, super huge on the top side. For example, let's say if white plays somewhere else, if white plays this, right? And then maybe black might play another reinforcing move here, right? For example, let's say he plays, I don't know, let's say he plays here, or something like that.
If you wouldn't just enclose at P16?
Yeah, you could. But, or I can also play here, you know?
Oh yeah, that's probably, that looks like a pro move.
I feel like P16, still, I mean, it doesn't exclude, the reduction like later, but
Yeah.
But the point here is, if Black gets another move on the top side, then his mode is going to be really big. And in fact, the corner, if you count it, has almost like 30, 40 points. So it's going to be really hard for White to make it up elsewhere. White has a very nice top left corner, but it's not enough for Black's top right. So, which is why when we usually invade when we see a very large black moil being potentially made.
I think this is playable for both, though. There's a large extension on the lower side, which White made big by enclosing. So I could expect big follow-ups on the lower side to rival the top.
So maybe like here. So White plays here, and Black plays.
Your move.
That.
Yeah, and then either J3 for territory or K4.
Maybe that, yeah.
Yeah, one of those two. It's starting to look a bit like KJ's game in Game 2. Lee Sedol made a similar extension.
Yeah. So this is kind of a mutual macro pattern, of course. Yeah, but in the game, obviously the invasion was calculated, and White had a lot of options to make life. So it's not like the invasion was uneducated. So, but often we want to avoid with spoiler. We definitely want to avoid like uneducated invasions, because if you throw yourself in your opponent's territory and end up getting, mired in a huge dragon chase, it's not gonna end pretty, right? So there's that. Especially like in after games, you don't want to give your opponent like a really weak target, because we're not like non-professionals, so we can't just like make live out of nowhere like Lisa told us. But
right. I think there's also another point is that we said that the top side, the extensions are proverbially too large. White made a 4-space extension from 2 stones when the proverb is from 2, 3. So he extended one further. And he didn't include the top right either. He extended 5 spaces from the R16 stone. So we have 2 overextensions, which it was a good move because it's a nice framework point, but they're too wide to be locally good. It's just globally good. So when your opponent asks for too much in the Fuseki, then invading takes on a sort of greater importance in the prioritization of moves. You can't let them enclose it all and get everything that they asked for, because they asked for too much. And when they ask for too much, you're supposed to say no, and then the fighting starts.
This is too nice to be true, the triangle structure.
Right. The point is, if Black gets it all, which he's not entitled to by any means, then Black is likely going to win the game.
Right. Because that's like a huge territory pouch right there, if it belongs to Black. Well, of course, it's not going to happen. But, like I said earlier, so White just lived on top, and if Black spends another move fixing this weakness, then he's going to probably fall behind, because White has this enclosure, and he's doing really well on the left side. So in the game, Black approached at move 37 at d5, but as I've spoiled it like 2-3 times already, White cut.
Yeah, but if White just plays that to Joseki in the lower left, then Black could take Sente and come back to J17.
Right. So I say White will probably just attach again if he places Joseki right here. Right.
And then
let's do it again,
And then J17.
This Friday night. I'm just kidding.
Or you could do that one. That's also possible.
But this was really an intense move.
Right. They didn't stop fighting after this.
Yeah. So intuitively you'd think, maybe as Black I should Tari here, right? Now, white can play this, and black is here. So that's kind of an obvious. Into the Zoomer, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. My webcam is super laggy, so just take that as like a picture of me, in the flannel shirt.
Yeah, you have to be really careful in this position, because J16 would be a bad move.
Oh yeah, because if you play an obvious move here, quote unquote obvious, black can play this, and this Hane doesn't work because
Nope.
we have the famous Tasuji right here. Doot.
Yeah, and you win the Liberty race.
Yeah. So, well, if that happens, the game is probably over. So
yeah, and white isn't helped by just extending instead of capturing. If you
like,
take G17 and make it G16.
Actually, I feel like this could be game of the year too. Like this could be game of the year, definitely if it happened in the game.
Well, it would be the talk of Q players for the next decade.
Yeah. So, of course, you want to avoid that. But
that's not white's only choice.
Right, so white can play at H16.
Oh yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is actually the kind of the only move here. But it's
H17 is also okay.
Oh really?
Yeah, H17, H18, and then H15, and jump out. It's not better, but it's possible.
What if black wedges?
In response to the wedge, let's see. Actually, wedging is kind of severe, right? You have only one real move after that, right? And that's
I mean it's a ladder, right? It's kind of a ladder. Well, maybe isn't that right? So we have this.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, your move is the only move.
That's what I felt like, yeah. But this is a really nice one.
That wedge is a pretty damn cool move.
Yeah, I'm glad that I read it out. Yeah, mad invasion skills. For his game of the year. But yeah, if black plays here, if he had Haris, then white can get pretty nice shape here.
Yeah, I think for that reason black wouldn't do it.
So he might play, instead of doing that, he could play H18.
Yeah.
But
and white G15.
Yeah, then white G15. But this is like, black doesn't really have a good shape in that case, right? Because white doesn't have a lot of free moves, but if he just pulls out one group here, then black actually has a group that is not entirely alive because of the Hane at F18. And if white gets that, then black will need to like
right. And also, white is ahead of black.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're not alive locally, and you're falling behind. Right. I don't think black would play E14. I think black would probably make the peep exchange at D15 and then jump out to stay ahead of white. But it's still going to be very hard.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to get this exchange first. But it would still be hard. Because, I mean, it's a hard battle for both players, really. But yeah, it's a good point. You need to get exchange first. If you don't get exchange, then maybe white can play here.
Yeah. New move for 45.
Here?
D15.
D15. Oh yeah, maybe we can do that.
Yeah, a different way to get out. Maybe it's better because then white and black are neck and neck.
Then maybe white can get this. Like B13 or C15 will be the other passive, but
yeah, C15 is what Tang Weixing played in the game, and then black E13.
So black plays here, but E13.
Yeah.
So that's also not bad, right?
Yeah, I think it may be a bit better than just jumping, but it's still similar.
Yeah, it'll probably be like something like this. But anyways, it's a running battle, of course.
Yeah.
In the game, though, let's see what happened in the game. In the game, black didn't play here. Oh, oops, another huge spoiler.
Yeah.
Black played at J18, which is this extension, and obviously. white could not be content with just getting that one stone, because that would be much ado for nothing. Just as
Right, and that's what people would be afraid of if you just play J18. Can't you say, well, why can't white play at L16 and capture the stone? Isn't that good for white?
well, the answer is not good enough, right?
Right, and then you go J16. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ladder is good for black.
Mm-hmm. So the game, white definitely didn't back off. And it's honestly pretty mind-boggling, because normally I won't fight like this. Like, it seems that, like, what I learned from the professional games is they really just pick fights from really small places. And it's honestly really incredible. It's like, all of a sudden, oh wait, black is in troubled waters now.
Well, it's not just black that's in trouble. White could die very easily.
Well, there's also that. So
Right. You see? Shi Yue, he likes my move. Don't talk smack about my move.
So,
oh, yeah,
we have a running battle.
H16 is really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the move that I'd first consider would be H17. But
oh yeah, because it's Sente, right?
yeah, but the one of the problems with that move, I guess, is that after black plays at H18,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes possible for black to later wedge at H16. And that
Right. So if you play here, right, for
Yeah.
example, let's say yeah, just say that. Then maybe black can wedge in the future.
Yeah, I think black can wedge right away.
And if white backs off, then there you go. Just a free eye right there.
Mm-hmm.
So black won't have to worry about you know, the life and death of this group. And if you
Right.
cut here, then I think black can also get away with it, right? Because you have this, and then you maybe have this.
Yeah.
So it's still gonna be fine.
But you're gonna kill one of the two white groups.
Mm-hmm. So that's probably why white played the bamboo joint.
Yeah,
which is also Sente.
Really slow. Yeah, it's also Sente. It looks really slow, but it's actually the perfect move.
So, because if you play here, right, then white can play here, or am I hallucinating? If black plays G18, white can stand down at H19. The wedge doesn't work, therefore white wins the capturing race.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be something like this, and white play that H14. Black comes out.
Yeah, black comes out. That's really interesting to me. I thought that in the game black would play H13.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that's what I would do too. But maybe this is like bad.
Oh, it's bad because and the move isn't obvious either. If you play G13 as white.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about a cut, right? So
yeah.
Like,
then you can play G14, and then white dies. So that's unacceptable. You could also run out with F14.
Uh-huh.
But black can also keep the pressure on it with G13 and force the bamboo joint, and it's still not really good enough for white.
But I wanna talk about this situation a little bit, because when you said cut, we have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could be interesting.
Right, and that's exactly what I was going to get at before.
Mm-hmm.
If you cut in at J13, and you can actually do that right away without making the G13 exchange, then you really rip black apart, and something is going to die, and your group's going to be saved.
Wow. Like this, right?
Well, you can do...
Oh, wait, hold on. Wrong color.
Yeah, you can play either the cut at L14 right away, or you can play at J13. They both seem to work.
Yeah, because if you look at this situation right here, then if you Hane, and then, well, actually, which one is it? Maybe it's this one. Yeah, maybe it's this cut.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at first.
If black plays this, then you have white's cut again.
Yeah, this is so dangerous.
And actually, this ladder doesn't work for black.
Nope.
So essentially, that's game over.
No, now the P9 stone is a shining move.
Yeah. And if you connect here, then obviously this is game over.
And it's worth noting that even if black plays G13 at H12, the problem still exists. It does not help the picture very much.
Right. So, I mean, I guess the Hane isn't that valid, is it?
No, it isn't. I was surprised. I was looking at... I was trying to figure out why it was bad. And I was looking at only the moving out options with G13 and F14. It took me a long time before I noticed that there were cuts back there, and you could take advantage of that.
So, which is why black probably just jumped out the game. Yeah, I don't have text-to-speech enabled yet. I do have the... I did fix the Twitch alerts. But, yeah, there you go. So, black play here. I was actually surprised he didn't get the free peep. Does that mean, isn't this obvious?
Yes. Yes, it is. So, if you look at what happened in the actual game, though, spoiler alert, that peep would have been removing some possibilities that you have.
Right. Because in the game, let's see what happened in the game.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in the K11 spot. Because there's a lot of different options you could choose for jumping. You could jump to L11, for instance.
You could jump to here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That actually fixes the cut point. Because you can do this, right? Yes.
And that's why I would look at it. So instead of cutting right away, white could peep at the cut with a move like L13 and force black to defend it.
So peep at the cut at L13?
Right.
Like
attachment.
Here?
Yeah, I think so. And then if that forces L14, then it would be a good exchange for white. So I was thinking maybe that may be a reason why Shi Yue didn't play it.
Well, maybe this is even better, right? If he plays this first, if he gets this, then plays here, it'd be even better. In a sense, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's gonna be a tougher game for white that way.
I certainly think so. I was looking for ways to make it bad, but I couldn't find one.
But in the game, black didn't get the exchange, so white got this one first. Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, if black wanted to prevent it, you could also go to K12. That would be a really, maybe it's a too slow option.
Oh, actually, I think white can just cut here, right?
Yes, that's why you don't do that right away. M14 and L13 and white's out.
Yeah, so white's peep at L12 is actually a really sharp move.
Yeah, this is really sharp because you can't do that. You have to play at M15 first, and then white. I mean, you can't save both. They're in Miai.
So let's see what black did. But that was also a good move, of course.
Oh, of course.
It fixed the cut point at L14 and also kind of put a little bit more pressure on white's top right group.
Okay, but here's the kicker. When white plays the next move, it reactivates the cut and makes it dangerous. Well, let me show you. If you do O14 and then black plays K12.
Oh, like something like this?
Yeah, black plays K12, and then white can take advantage of this position in a big way, which is why Shi Yue didn't do it. Yes.
Because if white targets at M14, then if black connects, then
you have the
cut is bounded again. Yeah. So But if you give up this stone, then that's huge.
Oh, that would be so big. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Black's group is totally floating.
Mm-hmm. So, what did Black play? Ooh, cut. Okay.
Yeah, it's so
right.
interesting.
So, in the game White played here, which it was kind of like a good self-defense. It also eliminates Black's cut, as we talked about earlier, at P16. That a huge steal sequence. Like P16, White P15, Black P18, right? So, in a sense, White's also safe in the top right for now. But
yeah.
Now Black can play at K12 because if White Ataris again.
Yeah, check this out.
Then this is a double
that
Atari.
Double Atari. It's so cool.
And that is the end of the Samsung Cup Semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding.
Hope you enjoyed the game.
But the game White obviously jumped out.
Obviously jumped out. No, you got to read all this stuff. It's I wouldn't call any of this really obvious.
Sometimes I feel like I'm just like not a professional in like by instinct. Maybe by reading
the
story.
You're 5 on HPA.
Yeah, I'm actually 5.62.
5.
Anyways, you get the idea. You get the idea. I still get destroyed all the time. But
you gained 0.6 of a point at the cutscene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. It was really fun.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about how good you are at the game.
Yeah, which is why I got the balls to like review this game. But I still think I mean maybe Black will get this one first. I like this because I'm known as the peeping XH298. So
everybody loves to peep at XH298.
So I'll probably get that one first, and then maybe play this.
Right.
Right. It seemed good.
I guess what Shi Yue is trying to do is preserve the options.
Right.
Like White's not going to play in that area to connect it, so may as well leave that idea open to see whether that or wedging is better.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also like makes good shape for Black in a sense.
Oh, certainly. And White, I guess White agreed with you because White took advantage of that in the game right away.
Yeah, so in the game, White actually played it at 14.
Which surprised me a lot. I think that I was looking at just moving out with J9.
Yeah, but this is a really clever move, actually. It takes away Black's free exchange at G13. So, Black actually has a bit of a connection problem right now.
Yeah.
So in the game...
actually, let's see. Can I show you what happens if White Tanukis? Let's say Black gets the next move. You might ask, can you go back to the corner or something? But you really can't. If Black gets the next free move, Black can compete at not at G13, but at G11.
So if White gets this, right? So
yeah.
Let's say
so make an exchange, here. And then Black G11.
Oh, then there's the wedge, right?
Yeah. So you do this, and then you wedge.
Ooh.
And you're gonna kill K16 group because White can't defend both sides simultaneously.
That's gonna be the end of the game.
Yeah, and I was looking at a move like what if White plays next at F13? Does that take care of both? But it actually does not.
What if White plays that?
Oh no! If you go through the wedge. Sorry.
Yeah.
So finish the wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That move, and then F13. You might ask, does that protect the cut? But it doesn't.
It doesn't, right? Because if you get this, then you get.
Yeah, you think it's a net.
Sort of. Maybe then if you get this, then we have this. Like Ataris. This just barely works.
Yeah, well actually there's a better way, I think. In response to f15 by white, black can actually pressure with d14.
D14. What is it, D14?
Well, yeah, and then d14 next.
Oh, yes. That's also a clever move.
Yeah, check this out, because then it threatens f14. You almost force white to connect there, and then you can make the cutting stuff.
So it still works, right?
Yes.
So, so you play here. It actually works just alright.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Just how all this works together.
So you're 9 Pro too, huh? Okay, but yeah, obviously the order of this move is very important because if you wedge right now, then obviously white's not going to connect at h11 when you peep here. He's going to connect. So maybe you can only end up with cutting here, but it actually doesn't seem to quite work for black.
Yeah, it's the E13 stone in particular looks pretty weak. Like white can slice through it.
And also there's the F11 push as well. So
yeah, apologies to Enumaris. I got a bit older since the last photo.
he looks mark5000 looks different.
I also needed a haircut and a shave and a nose job and a makeover. So please forgive me.
Please donate.
Yeah, I need Hollywood cheekbones. That's what I need.
But in the game when I play here, which is obviously a very clever move.
Yeah, better than E14.
Yeah, so black played the bamboo joint at D13. White got this one. Black, oh, fancy.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna gloss over it. You're like, oh, black gets this one, and then white gets.
No, that one's not obvious. There are a lot of things in life that are obvious, but not that one.
Okay, so if it's not obvious, then there must be a reason in our minds. For me, that reason would be why can't white D12?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why can't white just push through?
Well, I think if the white pushes through right now, then maybe black can get this first, right? There's a push and then there's a cut. Because if you Atari, then this Atari works just fine.
Yeah, I think you'd actually do that first, and then you play C13.
Where's C13?
Well, I mean, for 67. Yeah, for this, you play the E12 first.
Well, white can get this, right?
Yeah, and then you play C13.
Oh, it is right now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean that can also be possible, right? Is white going to push through here? I'm looking at that right now because, like, you definitely don't want it to happen. If white pushes through, then this is going to be a disaster. So, because the reason I wanted to make sure that white follows me was if you play here, then obviously you can't push through.
Let me go back and look at that one.
Right, so if you push through here,
so black can't just cap it with F11? You can't just block?
What is that?
You can't just block at F11? Why is that not working?
Which one is it?
Oh, wait, I'm on. Yeah, you're going to this variation. Okay, yeah. So you do this C13 thing, and then you go to E11.
Yeah.
And then why can't black block?
I mean, he can block, but then you'll have. I'm looking at a cut now, even. This is a huge mess, isn't it?
Oh no, you play B12. You Atari the other way, don't you?
Right, but if you Atari the other way, then this it would work pretty well for white, right? Because he wants the outside. And now now actually this ladder doesn't work because white can just play here. So you.
Oh, but the one benefit of this though is that you get to Atari at G12.
Yes.
And then you get to wedge at H11. And don't you? I think you cut off the group that way.
Yeah. I mean, there's that, right? But
yeah, so it's so complicated.
It's really complicated here because there's also the cut. So, I mean, not Nina and stuff is crazy, you know. But I mean, if you can find a way to like simplify this, it'll be much better.
Right.
So because like those non-professionals like fight back all the time if you play like one slightly loose move. What's going on in Twitch chat? Trust to go. Yeah, I never read messages.
All three of the games by these two players were complicated.
Oh yeah.
But they were also a lot more interesting than
I mean, all pro games are complicated, aren't they? But like, yeah, in the game where I didn't just, you know, become greedy, like most of us do. Because in the game you just extended at B12. That's a really nice shape move by Black. And Black's getting this Sente, and now he gets to Tanuki because if White tries to cut, like he's trying to do right now, then because of that Sente exchange at E18, Black can actually make two eyes. So here, after Black connects, right? If you poke this eye out, then Black has that.
Right.
So
yeah.
Black is like alive either way.
Yeah, it's painful for Black to live like that because White has not found the living the eye spaces yet.
So actually Black got more forcing moves here. So that's even better because maybe he can capture those force stones later. Because I mean we have the Atari, right? But obviously not now because Black has lived and those force stones are relatively unimportant.
Right.
It's pretty. Yeah, your song says it's pretty fun to see the insane amount of death variations the pros managed to dance around, though. Yeah. I missed a lot of things, didn't I? They're arranging a meeting with me and President Obama. Okay, that's cool. With the very mood, the pro plays the miniverse is graded. Exactly. You guys are taking this game very well. And,
now he plays my move.
I feel like, this is just, like, beauty. Like, it's really, like, elegant.
Yeah, and this game was kind of... I mean, both players, they played exquisitely. So, I mean, White pushed here, and of course they're, if Black, what if Black just connects? Let's see, if Black connects there, can't White just live, like G12?
I mean, he can do that, right?
Seems so. And what you're doing is you're threatening to come in and highlight the cut at K13.
Yeah. I mean, you can't push it through right now, but because obviously there's a net.
Yeah, I looked at that move because it seems to threaten a lot.
But maybe you can
on
play
the left
here.
side too.
Something like this, right? it'd be kind of dangerous for black. But in the game he played here, which is obviously a Sente move. And this is interesting to me. M10. So so if white cuts right now, then black can actually. This just works for black. This cut actually doesn't work. It looks really appealing, but doesn't work.
Right.
So I can only Atari here. But of course it also brings black some trouble because now that white's got N11, it's really hard for black to make eye shape.
Yeah.
And black cannot Tanuki because if he Tanukis, then white gets M12 and the game is over. Yay!
No, you can't go fishing when your house is on fire. We've shown that over and over in this game already.
Yeah, because if you get this big move, right? Big move. And then
No.
you play here.
Don't do it.
And then you play here, and you play.
Oh,
dude,
it's so heavy. No.
Dude.
You can't.
Oh my god. What is going on?
Yeah, how did this player get into the semifinal round of the Samsung Cup?
Fluke, right? Fluke.
Yeah, fluke. Multiple fluke.
I mean, like, it's like basically I got into, I don't know, the World Student Oza or something. It was like a huge fluke. It's like, why is he here? Why is this guy here? He doesn't, like, he just got wrecked before move 100. But white can pull out. And it's actually really severe. It seems like, it's a very simple move, but it really troubles the hell out of black. Because now he can pull these stones back, and black has to connect here.
What are the advantages of black keeping, if black keeps moving out instead of bending at L9? I mean, cannot black keep doing that? So like Tengen, and then move out, and K9?
And K9, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking about this sort of thing.
Does this work, actually?
Oh, if white plays down there.
Yeah.
I thought it was working for black. If black just blocks and white cuts.
Well, maybe not that right now, but...
Yeah, it doesn't work right now. It's good for black. That's why I was looking at it.
But maybe white can block, right?
Yeah, and then black will cut. For sure.
Here? Like L8?
I was looking at both. I think the other one may be more promising. It's really hard to say, though. Actually, maybe the other one.
Hold on, I gotta check my Twitch alerts dashboard. Because people are saying that I should check my Twitch alerts dashboard. So let's see what happened in the game. Black just spent, so he didn't want to risk really. Also, I think Shi Yue was running a long time, but I'm not sure. So white fixed his shape first. This is of course Sente, and he's still in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we are at move 100 out of over 200.
Yay! White didn't die. Yeah. So, white cut. As you can see, there's a black group here, a huge black group in the center, and it is in trouble unless black connects to the right, which is of course possible, but not easy. Right. So, black plays here. I mean, of course, you can also disconnect right now, but it'll be Gote. That's not good. So, white plays here, and then, but this is a really sharp move right here. I think I would probably just like connect, just chicken out, and play here, and say like, you know what, if you
really
connect, then I'll play here, right? then my dragon is safe. But something like 08 is what I'll aim for like later.
I think what I would do is I would just cut right away.
Like which one?
The 013.
013? Oh, that one?
Yeah, I think that's living too.
Is it? So what happens if white plays here?
Let's see. White plays there. And
because if you extend,
yeah.
If you extend, then white can extend here, right?
Oh, is that bad?
Oh yeah, that's. I think it is.
Okay,
right?
then you capture, and white keeps you separated.
Then white plays.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, white plays there. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, I think it's probably bad for black.
Yeah, I don't feel very good for black. But like, yeah, I mean, there's definitely options for black to stay safe, but of course, that's me. That's not Shi Yue. So, yeah, I wonder who the other guy is. Like, really, like doing 24-hour streams and go like, what? I'm just kidding. But black played here, and now white decides it's time to go back to the bottom left corner and pick up some territory.
Okay. So why is the cut of the small knight not working? Is that's a question that immediately I want to ask. Is can it be cut?
Like right here?
Oh yeah. That's the perfect way.
I think.
I mean, is it too dangerous for the right side group? Is that why?
First of all, does this work actually? So what if black just plays? Yeah. So what if black just plays there? I mean, you can't recut.
Then
right?
white's 07, I suppose.
White 07.
Yeah, that would be a way to simplify the game if white thinks that it's good for white.
Well, he has like more influence that way, but like black can still like get back to the bottom left corner, right?
Yeah, I mean, black can take the Sine here.
Yeah. So also, I feel like yeah, also feel like if you Tanuki as white, then it'll be even worse. Because if you get back to this position right now, then black can actually extend, and it'll be the end of the game for white.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
you don't want to cut right away. I guess that makes sense on an intuitive level, because if black plays the move, then he's already read it out and made certain that it's okay. And black isn't going to come back and fix it anytime soon, because he's already read that it's okay.
Oh wait, hold on, the stream is offline. It's back. It should be back. I never stopped streaming, so might be just an internet hiccup. No. This is not happening.
Are we still offline?
I don't think we're offline. Maybe we just like went off and came back.
Hey, we're back!
Yay! Thank God. Y'all don't even have any idea of like how many weeks it took XHU to enable streaming. Anyways, so I play here. This is the famous Joseki.
And actually, it's worth noting because F3 has gotten a lot more popular recently. You used to see C5 a lot as the Joseki, but recently we're seeing F3.
So, like that?
Yeah, this is almost an old Joseki because I don't see it played in pro games anymore.
Maybe if I can get this, right?
Yeah, that's part of the reason. So locally, the f3 move is better for white by a lot. But even when the board is emptier, it's a more popular move.
Mm-hmm.
It's even starting to get more popular if you have the ladder. And even if you don't, I've even seen the move played.
Yeah, so for example, we're talking about this move right here.
Mm-hmm.
So white plays the Joseki, Ataris, and then falls.
I think you missed a move.
Oh wait, what?
Let's see. In this kind of Joseki,
you
shouldn't Atari play first at e3. Yeah, you exchange this one.
That's the
this one.
That's the other option, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In this case, the ladder doesn't work for black though, so maybe that's why black didn't play that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But like here, this is actually doable. So because black has like stones on the third line at 03 specifically, he can cope with the situation pretty nicely. But like I thought they were just going to fight it out in the bottom side, but when I saw the game, like I saw this move, right? I saw it cut. And then I was like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? Because after white extends, black has this really severe Hane. So, I mean, white can still play here, but it'll be much worse because now he has to fight his way out that way.
Yeah.
And it certainly isn't what white wants. So I was like, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah, but then it's really surprising to me. As a Tanuki, I was thinking a move around d11 on the left side would be a lot bigger. But that doesn't keep up the attack. That's just a big point. I think what white is trying to do with this move 122, he's actually trying to kill the whole group. His sights are set to death.
Oh my god! I mean, I know that, but like
there's so much danger for this.
There's no way you can kill this dragon.
Really? It looks desperate.
I mean, black can play this, right? Like you have a lot of, I mean, it's not really that easy, right?
Well, black didn't play that in the actual game, so we got to find the problem with it.
Oh, I think the problem is white doesn't really have a very thick surrounding. So if you just say, hey, you know what, we're gonna start capturing black right now, it's not gonna be doable because black has stones around. But in the game, so in the game, what black did was he played this one first, and this is Sente. But then white started sacrificing his stones in order to build that outside. So what we saw in the game was white tarried here, then tarried again, and then tarried again, and then tarried again.
So now madness.
He basically just gives up those 5 stones, and I mean it's a lot of points, right?
That's because he's trying to kill the top group.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. It's really greedy.
But yeah, but if you compare this situation to the one we talked about earlier, like this is actually really desperate for black because white has so many stones around at the cost of sacrificing his 5 stones right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
the question is, can black actually escape?
Well, black says he can.
Now, actually, so we can look at this variation a little bit. If
why don't you
white
block?
blocks, then what will happen? White can play this, right? And that'll be a thing.
I think so.
Actually, this doesn't work for white, which is why white connected in the game. That's a good move. And now if you just do it like that, like here,
yeah, and then this move is pretty interesting.
Then this doesn't. This is more complicated because now I can fix.
Yeah. So what I was wondering is why would you make the 07 exchange before playing K8? Why not play K8 right away?
Why not play K8 right away?
Before this exchange, these two moves.
Well,
here.
Like here?
Yeah, K8.
So he plays this, right?
Yeah, so what's the question? What's the benefit of the...
What if white just plays here?
Let's see, if white plays there...
Then black would have to get into a capturing race with the center white group, right?
Right, but that was always a capturing race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see how it changes the scene.
Maybe,
Oh, I think I know. It's because it activates the cut at P6.
Well, this is always, like, more trouble for white, right? Because after this exchange with the Sente, white has more weaknesses.
Right, because then N7 is...
So, if you can make more trouble for your opponent, why not?
Right. I wouldn't expect white to play 07 right away, but after you played it, it looks good.
So I mean, here there are more threats for white. Like he could collapse because of the central group. He could collapse because of the bottom.
Now is this a time Suji?
I'm not sure actually. I feel like black could have just given it all up and just like say, you know what, let me just connect. But it's too much. It's too many points. So. I mean, he could ignore it, but it'd be like really ambitious, and I think black still believed that he could hold it, so that's why he followed.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that was not so significant because when I play here, not play here, so the cut is obviously Sente. Now, what has to fix? But here, I think I know what exchange you're talking about.
Yeah.
So white should play somewhere like that.
And actually, Anyang Gil from the Goguen Guru, I believe he's 8-dan professional player. He suggested that white's failure to play this exchange caused him to lose the game.
Yeah, because first of all, black cannot Tanuki, right? So if black Tanukis, then let's say black Tanukis. I know this played random move. Then this actually white's connection actually works because if you Atari, then white has M2. So that's no good for black. So in other words, black has to respond. So if you yeah, my OJS is so laggy right now. It's not even funny anymore. And then white fixes now. Then black, like white won't have any problems with his connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yes. No. And then maybe you can play here, right?
Bit tricky.
So in a sense, white's group will still be very like connected, but that's tricky, I guess.
Is the connection just good enough? Because it seems like black would have a whole lot of points at that stage.
Like here?
Well, further, at the end of your variation, if black just connects to J6 next, Isn't Black having a lot of points?
I mean, probably. But you mean from the bottom side?
Yeah, and Black still has one eye for the center group.
Yeah. I mean, next he's probably just gonna bring this into a caption race.
Right, and I suppose that's maybe what I'm getting at is Black certain that he could win this kind of capturing race?
Well, also they're in Baoyomi, so it's always gonna be hard. Like you're not gonna read everything out.
Right.
Right. So you want to try to avoid that.
Yeah, it looks really good for White.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, even though Black got a lot of points from the bottom side, like there's still like N3, there's still White's bottom left corner being like half alive there. So I mean, it really isn't looking that good for Black. It's actually a really desperate situation. But in a game, White didn't make that exchange. So what happened was Black first played the P8 free exchange, and then and then that was Sente too, of course. So I think those are just time to Suji.
Could be. But this sequence was brilliant.
Oh yeah, right?
I even took the liberty to label them.
Mm-hmm. But like, what do they do exactly? Like, what is the brilliance of this sequence?
Well, you have it completely parries the connection there, because the two groups, let's see, L8 and K6, those points are kind of in Miai right now.
Mm-hmm. Right, so like you don't want to play, I mean, you don't want to target right now, so they're kind of in Miai.
No. Yeah, and then Black gets his second eye easily.
But like, I guess what H13 does is it it connects the K12 and K11 stones in Sente.
It also pokes out the eye there.
Yeah.
So White becomes very endangered.
So he's not going to win a capture race if it goes like, one eye versus 0 eyes. But in a game where Black just pushed out directly. And if White connects right now, I don't think he can win this kind of stuff, right?
No.
Because he has he doesn't have any eyes. So in a sense, in the game, he had to accept the trade, which basically marked the end of the game because the Central Dragon was too much.
Yes.
And so he only captured like 8 stones, right? And that was clearly not enough.
Right. I mean, the 8 stones, it isn't larger than this big dragon. And losing the dragon in the center is just, I mean, it's so many points.
But yeah, the game was pretty much over after that.
Yeah, when Black finished the last Aji off with the E11 stone, then the group in the center was dead for certain. And there weren't any more chances for Tang Weixing.
But what do you think about this game? This is pretty intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it was raw fighting. I think these games are really exciting to watch because you don't know how they're going to keep the pressure on each other and continue the fight.
Yeah, especially now that we have a final with Koje and Shi Yue, right? So those are the two the two best players in China right now at the moment. So it'll be really exciting to see how the final would go. Because I mean, those are strong people.
Yeah, that may be a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, I mean,
Kuja he's been in excellent form recently. I think he's only he's only lost something like 17 out of 80 games this year.
Oh my god. That was like me in one of the months this year. Like, it was pretty unstoppable on OG.
Okay, are you comparing yourself to KJ?
No. But I mean, in the professional, calendar, winning like 60 something out of 80 games is crazy, right? Like, especially like I think professional games are more like 50-50 because there was like strong people out there, and you can always be beaten.
Yes,
your dragon can always be slain.
Right. So I think that the game series between Shi Yue and Kaji will be in December. In early December. I forget what the exact dates are, but we can look forward to that. I think it's like December 8th through the 10th. But I don't remember exactly.
But yeah, this is a pretty good game, and thank you so much, Mark, for being a part of this review.
You got it.
Yeah, you did a lot of a lot about like this professional players, right? Well, I'm just like comparing myself to those pros.
No, I make sense up.
Maybe
but there's some of my favorite players. I looked at a lot of Shi Yue's games, and he's got a really exquisite style.
Yeah, I mean he was number one for 1 or 2 years, right?
Right, and he doesn't shy away from complicated fighting. I think he really showed how powerful of a player he is in this game.
Mm-hmm. Like he's just really strong.
Yeah, and Tang Weixing, he's not a pushover either, especially in the Samsung Cup. He seems to have had a really good performance in the past Samsung Cups.
Yeah, and actually, if it weren't for that exchange at G6, maybe he would have won. Maybe it would be another final for him.
Well, the Center Dragon would be saved if the game happened that way.
Yeah, it'll probably be a capture race of some sort in that way, but...
Right.
Anyways, we hope you enjoyed the stream tonight, and I'm going to take a break and, away from my laggy webcams and stuff. But I'll upload this on YouTube definitely. I'll do some cutting, here and there. But thank you for watching.
Not unlike the players, which also were cutting here and there.
What?
Well, you're cutting the video. The players were also cutting each other on the Go board.
Right. So, I mean, it's a pretty good deal. We got to review a really intense game.
Yeah, we got to see a dragon die.
Yeah, compared to like Koji versus Liceo, like because Koji basically just like played safely, and solidly, and he was in the lead.
Oh yeah, what was that? People were talking about it being the game of the year, because, or at least the matchup of the year, because you have the former Korea #1, well-regarded player, strong fighting skill, and you have Kaji, who is the new rising star in China, arguable world #1. Then you have these two all-stars playing each other, and you have kind of the battle of the old guard versus the new blood.
Yeah.
But actually, it turned out to be kind of a disappointing 2 games for Lee Sedol. He didn't get chances to show off the moves that he's really thrown himself to the limelight for.
Yeah. So, but this was a really good game, and we're glad that we reviewed it on stream. So,